What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash. Come back to Real Takes. Well, sit down, guys. It's movie review time. This is for The Nun 2. This one, I will say before I jump into it, I'm going to keep it spoiler free. There's a couple things in there I don't want to give away. I will say this, I love how this definitely ties in, of course, with the follow-up to The Nun and also with the Conjuring franchise. That's much as far as I'm going to go within regards to not feeling like I'm giving truly anything away, per se. I will say with this one, definitely did enjoy them flushing out a little bit more with the storyline, so you can definitely know for certain that it definitely ties in. And then also seeing some original faces that we got to know in the first one, of course, with Thaisa Farmiga back as Sister Irene. We also have the gentleman by the name of Jonas Bloquet, played Frenchie, also goes by Maurice in the film. And we have another face that's new to this one, which I was actually excited to see when I saw initially in the trailer, and that is Stormy Reed, who plays Sister Deborah. Now, I will say this. I love the demonic nun, aka Valak, played by Bonnie Aarons. She does an amazing job. She just gives off the creepy vibes to me. Seeing when we were introduced to her really was in, I want to say, The Conjuring 2. That came out, was it 2016? I really enjoyed that whole movie. Out of Conjuring, I really enjoyed that because just the way the album was done and fleshed out, and definitely with her, because it gave a little extra to me. Even though I love the first one, didn't mind so much about the third one, but that one, the second one, just really did it. It just took it up a notch with that overall story, and then bringing this nun into the fold, and then wanting to know the backstory, and then knowing down the road we were going to get a Conjuring 3, but knew we were going to get the Nun film. I really wanted to know a little bit of that backstory, which we did get in the Nun. Back when it came out, was it 2018, and it's all going around circa at the monastery that was in Romania circa 1952. Seeing a woman having to, nun falling to her death, then them having to bring out, was it Father Burke, of course Thaisa Farmiga, who's going through her, to get to where she can become, actual, sister, and then being introduced at that time to somebody who's kind of like a guide to them, Frenchie. So that one definitely gave us a nice little backstory. Of course, enjoying, seeing some of the things that happen with the creepiness. Father being, put into a grave. Seeing the scene of Sister Irene having to literally splat the blood of Christ to kill the nun, as we thought was, and then seeing what happens, with Frenchie, and like I stated before, with circa the Conjuring, the first one, and seeing how that ties in with the Conjuring universe. Now, to kind of bring it back to present day, I remember hearing that they were going to be doing a second one, and I was exactly excited about that, because even though we saw that part of Conjuring, I knew there was a little bit more to that, being that a certain amount of years have passed. Are we going to be introduced to a couple other factors, like Father Burke again? We'll definitely see probably the sister again. She was able to fight off definitely Father Burke was injured, with his eye, and her, and then having that bond would bring them back into the fold. Now, in this one, we definitely saw in the trailer that Sister Irene is back, and we get introduced to some other characters, some other young ladies, like I said, Reed, and some other individuals who are in the actual trailer. And, of course, the main person, which is the nun. Now, with this one, going into it, this, of course, definitely years later, we're getting, I think it's 1956, and this one centers around, it happens actually in France in this particular one. I will say this, because I'm trying my best to watch my words. With this particular storyline, I actually did enjoy this. I will say, in this one, story is written by Akilah Cooper. I'm here for her because I enjoyed her writing for the movie Megan, and definitely the movie Malignant. So I was curious to see how they're going to play this out. If they're bringing this back, how can that be? I'm thinking the nun is done. So when you're seeing this one, things happen at the beginning of the actual film that sets up why certain things are happening, why we're still dealing with the situation of the nun, and also with what kind of transpires with Frenchie, aka Maurice. And when I say I'm really trying not to, I'm really biting my tongue, I really am. And I actually like that, because when you see the overall tie-in and you understand what's happening, once certain things happen, certain strings of deaths, and then also them realizing that this evil, is not gone fully. We need to, find, Sister Irene, and see if she's able to, and she's hesitant. but in the end, she definitely, rises to the occasion, but not by herself. She does have somebody who goes with her, and I like how, like I stated before, we get somebody presented as someone she works alongside with, and that's Sister Deborah, played by Stormy Reed. I'm a fan of Stormy. She's been doing some amazing work, and in this particular instance, in this movie setting, I like how she's definitely someone Irene could be is considered like a confidant to speak with, and vice versa. Definitely some conversations take place between the two and certain things in their lives where at first they're not very forthcoming, but then as they're on their travels to get where they need to go, things do come to head in regards to both of their lives, both of their families, things that are brought to the forefront to explain to them why they are where they are and why they are working and what they do is being sisters, working, doing the Lord's work. And I like how they do dabble in that, especially knowing, a little bit more about Sister Irene, and then also learn a little bit some new stuff, with the new character played by Reed. Now, I will say this, I do enjoy the character Frenchie from the first one. So seeing him in this one again and seeing where he's at now, working at this, I want to say like boarding school of some sorts, it's really nice to see, his character now, because at the first one, come on a little strong, a little extra, like, I want to say, trying to put on the charismatic little feel a little bit, but hence, Sister Irene's like, that's not going to happen, and, his charms and everything and all, it was really something else and all that, very handsome young man playing the character, so it fit the overall aesthetic with that. And then seeing here, definitely gets along with the kids, one in particular who goes by the name of Sophie, and you can see a little vibe, she has a little respect for him, does little things for him. Of course, there's other girls in there who like to, kind of use that against her, a little bully mentality in school. We all, always somebody who wants to do the bullying and all that, and they have a couple of them in this actual film. But I do like how he always steps up to the plate, to be there to kind of shield this young girl with that little nonsense with the young girls. And then also the fact that her mother works in school teaching to the other girls, you kind of see a little something there, and I'm like, okay, I peeped at it quite a little bit. But I will say, when we were getting down to the forefront of what's happening with why Sister Irene and Sister Deborah on their route to get to France, because there definitely is an evil that lurks around the school where these young girls are. And there's a lot more to the story, that instance, in regards to that. Know that there's some certain, murders happening of certain priests, going here, it's all these different little places. And it's very interesting when you figure out the overall reveal as to why it's happening and who's the one that's doing them. It becomes very, very clear, again, the evil has not left. It's still there, and things are definitely happening. And I like how, in the end, Sister, again, rises to the occasion and eventually shows up, and things definitely take a turn. I will say, in this film, comparing to the first one, the creepy factor was up there. I will admit, I think maybe definitely one jump scare that caught me off guard, really caught me off guard. I will also say the creepiness of the nun was definitely heightened a little bit in certain scenes, a little graphic of this. And there was a couple other scenes with another creature that really caught me off guard and just, ugh. But yes, definitely added to the, intensity of it, and, definitely suspenseful, definitely here for all that. So yes, it added to culminate with the overall storyline to bring forth the conclusion that ends up happening in regards to how things end up taking place with Irene coming toe to toe with the nun again. Same thing again, with Maurice, aka Frenchie. Gets called Maurice a lot more in this one. So yes, and I like again how both sisters work together, to do what they need to do in regards to the nun as well. But like I stated before, this one definitely ties in with the films. So if they decide to leave it at that, they don't need to add any more. This one definitely does the job, and it definitely will, will let people know. I'll just say one thing I will say, and it's not spoiling anything, just don't leave. Stay, for the whole entire film all the way to the end. I'll just put it like that, so it's not like me giving you actually what's going to happen, but you all can see it for yourself. But yes, I really did enjoy this film. Again, never can say enough how much I literally bow to Bonnie Aarons, who plays the demonic nuns, aka Valak. She does an amazing job. She's just beyond creepy. I would love to meet her. Hopefully one day I will get that chance. That would be awesome. And I can't say enough about Thaisa Farmiga. She's definitely does this character very, very well. I'm definitely a fan of her in her previous films. And she did also American Horror Story years back. I watched her when she was on that before she started parlaying into this. So yes. And it's just really interesting when I just like to bring up the fact that being her and her sister Vera Farmiga, because I've been a fan of her well before knowing she had a younger sister, that they were part of this overall just Conjuring universe. So I actually find that, very interesting. Of all the things I would have never thought would happen, but I love that does tie in, and how James Wan and them kind of did it, him and Gary Doberman. So I'm really here for that. But again, if you get a chance, most definitely check it out. I definitely enjoyed it. Like the first one, definitely enjoyed the second one. And with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think when you do see it. If anything, wait a couple of days, whatever and all that, please do not spoil it into the comment section. Please try to contain yourself. So, and with that said, I will see you guys in the next movie review. You guys take care.